good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here. Oh, bad timing there. I just literally pressed record and the train goes running past. Typical, isn't it? It's not a bad morning. It's not too cold either, to be fair, here. So I mean, I do have quite a lot on, to be fair, but to be fair, I probably don't need as much clothes on as I should do, to be fair. Oh dear, it's a lot more muddier than I expected. Am I going to get through this? Let's see if I can get round. So, what am I going to talk about today, guys? Now I want to talk about Christmas. And what is Christmas? What does it mean to me, sort of thing? And what's my perception of Christmas? You know, I feel like Christmas nowadays has lost a lot of what is value of what it used to be. Sorry, I am just trying to traverse through this muddy pathway here because it's really, really bad here. It's just, I feel like it's lost its meaning, especially in this day and age. I mean, there will probably be some people probably listening who don't even celebrate Christmas, and that's totally cool. You know, it's to each to their own, but it's pretty much embedded in my life because it's something that we celebrate in a family. It's kind of it's a normal thing to me. Every year, you know, we get presents and we share them with each other. Christmas cards, we get out and, you know, we spend time with family and loved ones and all that kind of stuff. And it's quite I've learnt more. To me, it's more about spending the time with friends and family and loved ones than it does about the presents. Obviously, when you're younger, you get super excited because obviously you're going to be getting, you know, the perception is you get lots of presents, but some of you maybe listening maybe didn't get that. Some of you maybe not have gotten any yet, all because of whatever circumstances you were in. It's always to put that have that perception and have that in your mind when you're talking about these things, because you can also, because Christmas, I've said, to certain people can be really depressing for some people, because some people, when they see families and that having presents and dressing up with Christmas jumpers and all that kind of stuff, it can have an opposite effect on people. So it's not always a perfect thing. And I feel like society these days, especially business and retail and whatnot, they just see it as a Christmas nothing more as a money machine now. I don't think they really take it as seriously like they used to, but they care about the values of Christmas, of what it meant to people. Wow, it's really bad here. I feel like people have lost, there's been a lot of that where it's just all about gift presents, guys. It's not, and it's less about the coming together. You know, you see all these happy, smiley, happy families and whatnot you see on your TV ads or ads on your devices and whatnot, and you just think to yourself, God, I wish it, you know, it really paints this picture that everything is all humble and perfect. And I'm very fortunate that when in my childhood, that's what it was for me. It's Christmas. I was very fortunate to have the family that I have and the relatives that I have still to this day that I have connections to. I got this could be a challenge. Trying to do this without slipping over. That would be the worst thing to do, would be slipping over while holding this phone, guys. Well, I know you guys want me to do that. I can't remember my earliest memories of actually Christmas, but I do remember one night I was up later than usual in bed and I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe I was excited about the Christmas presents, I don't know. And I was so tired I couldn't even see who had come in the door. But I remember someone coming in the door and putting it was probably my dad, but someone put a Christmas sack full of presents on mine and my brother's beds, hanging on the bedside pole, and then the next morning you wake up and it's like, oh, look at all these amazing gifts. And my parents used to, I think they spent way too much money on their kids than they needed to, but they wanted to show how much they loved us, you know. It was, we were very fortunate to have the gifts and that we had, because nowadays, especially nowadays, I would say that some kids don't get that, obviously, but I think I'll tell you guys actually a story about a really bizarre Christmas day as well. So there was one Christmas day where it was not all normal. So my parents moved home, moved from one house to another that year, and then I think it wasn't too long before Christmas as well. And it was a nice 3-bedroom home, whatever. Still getting used to it. And I remember Christmas morning, I'll never forget this. I got up before everyone else. I was up before everybody else. And I can't remember why, but I didn't even open presents. I just went downstairs. And I sat on the sofa. And I remember I was sitting on the sofa, and lo and behold, train coming past again. Ruining a perfectly good story. And so I was, I'll sit down for a bit. This one. So I sat down on the sofa, and then all of a sudden, something walked along opposite where the TV. The TV was not on a stand, but it was on like a stone part on the corner. And under this all stone part, there's like a hole. There's quite a big hole under it. And then the wires from the TV go. There's like a hole right at the back where the wires go into that area where the hole is. And out peeked the hole was a mouse. Her actual mouse. Yeah, we found out we had a mouse on Christmas Day, and I remember running upstairs and telling Mum and Dad, and on Christmas Day of all days, they didn't believe me. And it took about, I think it wasn't straight. They didn't straight away see it, and then once I pulled my dad down, finally, and he showed him and he saw it. He was like, "Oh bloody hell!" He said. So all the opening presents and everything was all on hold because me and my I was just sitting there on the I remember I was sitting there on the sofa. We're sitting there while my dad is building a contraption of all these planks of wood that goes out to the garden to try and get this mouse to go all the way out into the garden. Don't know, can't remember what he actually did to make the mouse follow the trail to the dawn, but it took a few hours. I remember that, and he finally got it out. So it wasn't until like quite late morning until we finally like opened presents and had proper Christmas. But it was one of the weirdest Christmas days I've ever had. To wake up, be the first to wake up in the morning, and then I was like, oh, there's a mouse there. What the hell? You know? Crazy stuff. So, I wish Christmas wasn't always about presents and whatnot, you know. And the thing is that, just putting the business mind on for a second, there's someone who's worked in those kind of areas for a long time. That it's a lot of retailers and that they rely so much during Christmas to make their margins, to make their profits during Christmas, and if they're, you know, it really is really important to them, because throughout the most of the year some of them don't make as much money or make as much money, you know. So some non-essential shops that don't really be making money unless during the Christmas time. So it's really important. But Christmas to me is about coming, about family, about coming together, you know, spending time with your loved ones. That's what it means to me. You know, obviously originally, yeah, you know, the original stories was about the birth of Jesus Christ, and the story of that. That's the original story, of course, but people obviously don't talk about that as much as they used to. You know, people always see Christmas as, some parents see it as a detriment, Christmas rather than a help, because it's like, if you're struggling or whatever, and it's like, I can't be spending so much money on blooming kids these days. That's where you get the grandparents to step in and spend some of the money, their money, to spend it on the kids for you. But Christmas, you know, it's also, I look at it as well as a end of year sort of thing, and I'll probably do another one about end of year. But Christmas, that's what it means to me. Hey, almost slipped there. So what did Christmas mean to you guys? Or does Christmas mean anything to you? Do you have any stories about Christmas that you would like to share, bizarre stories that you've had for Christmas? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.